Ladies, let's start with a really important question. What exactly are neurodevelopmental disorders? Now, I know that it sounds like a mouthful, but let me break it down. Neurodevelopmental disorders, often called NDDs, are conditions that happen when a baby's brain doesn't develop in the usual way. Now, this can affect how a child thinks, learns, communicates, behaves, or even moves. Here's the key: they are multifactorial. That means there is no one single cause and there is no one simple cure. And they stem from abnormal brain development. So that's why we can't just blame bad parenting, discipline issues, or laziness. Often these challenges start way back in the womb, long before the child is even born. Think about it in this way. When you see a child struggling in school, misbehaving, or having emotional meltdowns, it's not about being bad. It's about their brain not having developed the circuit it needs to handle what life is asking of them. Now, here's where it gets really powerful for you as mothers. So many of these brain developmental challenges are influenced by the choices you make right now in pregnancy. Now, not everything is in your control, of course. Genetics does play a role, but the environment inside your body, the nutrition, the inflammation levels, the toxic exposure you face during pregnancy and before has a massive impact on whether those brain circuits connect in harmony like a beautiful orchestra or whether they end up out of sync. Now, let me give you some examples. NDDs include things like autism, spectrum disorder, ADHD, learning difficulties like dyslexia, communication and behavioral disorders. Some are purely genetic, but most are shaped by the environment the baby develops in: your womb, your health, and the first 2 years of life. Now, here's the science in simple terms. During pregnancy, your baby's brain cells are migrating into place like little construction workers building the brain. Now, if something interferes, they might not reach at the right spot. And that's linked to conditions like autism and dyslexia. In the first 2 years of life, the brain explodes with connections, billions of them. That's where nutrition, gut health, gut microbiome, and environment plays a massive role in wiring the brain for focus, memory, emotional balance, and learning. And the way these brain regions connect through white matter wires, it will determine if your child can plan, concentrate, control impulses, regulate emotions. In ADHD, for example, those wires are underdeveloped. In autism, they are underconnected, sometimes overconnected, leading to sensory overload. And here's the critical truth: these changes are often irreversible once pregnancy is over. Now, that doesn't mean your child can't improve or thrive later, but the foundation is laid now, during pregnancy and early childhood. That is why prevention is so much more powerful than treatment. That is why what you do today matters. So when you choose the right foods, reduce toxins, calm inflammation, and support your gut health, regulate your nervous system, you are literally programming your baby's brain for lifelong success. You're lowering the risk of things like ADHD, autism, learning difficulties, and emotional dysregulation. And here's some hope: even if genetics load the gun, the environment pulls the trigger. That means even if you have a family history, your choices can tilt the scale back in your favor. So let me leave you with this thought: the brain is like an orchestra. Every part needs to play together in sync to create a beautiful music. During pregnancy, you are the conductor. You get to shape how well those instruments connect, tune, and harmonize. In next part, we will share exactly which risk factors we can control and how to start making those changes that will give your baby the best chance for a radiant, brilliant, emotionally balanced future. So ladies, keep learning, keep growing. Until I see you next time, take very good care of yourself.